UNICEF Chief of Field Office, Phuong Nguyen, joins me virtually now from Maiduguri for a discussion of the African refugee situation. Good to have you join us.
Thank you for having us.
So let's begin on the back of this, on the back of two reports we just took. One of them is the refugee status of Ivorians who fled their home during the crisis. And then there is another one that talked about the drought in the Horn of Africa, which is also now leading to humanitarian crisis. On the back of those reports, what's your thoughts on how African leaders are responding to the refugee situation or the situation of internally displaced persons in the continent?
Yes, thank you very much, and happy World Refugee Day to you. Really, it's the situation of refugees across the world, and certainly here in Africa, is very worrying. I think what is most important for us is to really recognize the fact that we can do a lot better for refugees, for returnees, for displaced persons. Due to disasters that are whether natural or human-made, we see multiple displacement. In the Northeast specifically, we're seeing displacement not only once or twice, but 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. So in the context of the Northeast, we are really looking at the situation of returnees as well as displaced persons. You mentioned earlier that in the Northeast, we have roughly over 300,000 persons who are refugees from the northeast of Nigeria to neighboring countries such as Chad, Cameroon, and Niger. And so the focus for us is really to make sure that refugees who fled and are coming back in 2021. There has been several thousands of Nigerian refugees returning to Nigeria. What we're really trying to work together with other UN agencies and partners, as well as the governments, is making sure that people who are coming back to Nigeria or provided with the basic safety, security efforts, and the basic services so that they come back in a voluntary fashion, but also in a very dignified manner. The whole situation here in the Northeast really forces us to look at how we provide those services for those returnees. And we're seeing that in the case of Bama, where several thousands have returned last year, we're seeing challenges there in terms of how they are able to reintegrate back and resettle in those areas. We're seeing in the case of Bama here, for example, where people are returning to locations where there are already internally displaced persons in various camps, that the situation is quite challenging. In fact, that we don't have enough basic services. The livelihood opportunities are rather limited, and the services, besides being limited, are also compromised in terms of the quality. This is where UNICEF, UNHCR, other partners are supporting the government to make sure that every girl, every boy, every woman, man, family is able to get the basic services to health, to nutrition, water sanitation, protection, and certainly education. Can we do more? Of course, I think that's something that government leaders, including other African leaders, can be in agreement with. We can do more, and we will do more.
Let me speak to a comment made by the UN High Commissioner for Refugees, Filippo Grandi, in Ivory Coast, where he applauded the lasting solution of peace that is inspiring thousands of Ivorians to return home. Do you think that that lasting solution of peace can be used across Africa to ensure that displaced Africans are returning home? Or what do you think the path to ending the refugee crisis in Africa is?
Yes, I think, in terms of solutions, here, certainly in the Northeast, we do have solutions, such as better shelter, such as better education and water sanitation services, protection services. But it is a collaborative effort of everyone. And that's to say from the government side, whether it be the government of Borno and Amawa, Yobe, from the UN side, from the humanitarian and development partners, and certainly from the communities themselves. I think we do have some innovations and we have some solutions, but it does take effort, a collaborative effort. It's not one party or another, but it is a collective effort. And I think so far we're seeing some of those solutions in some locations, and it really depends on the context where we're operating. But I think for us also in the Northeast, education is really an important dimension to make sure that children, boys and girls, both have opportunity for education, where education is an opportunity for learning, but also for peace building. I think, you know, we can certainly do more to provide the services, but it's also important to really make sure that social cohesion and peace building are part of those efforts for more durable solutions.
Absolutely. We will continue to see how Africa responds to its crisis of internally displaced persons. Thank you so much for talking to us, UN Chief of Field Office, Phuong Nguyen.
Thank you very much.